All right, today I received my first order from the Tuttle Twins. I got two books. I don't remember what I ordered, so I'm gonna open it, but I thought I'd record it first and find out together. I just forgot, but I don't know much about Tuttle Twins, but I remember hearing about them on maybe a podcast briefly, or maybe it was an ad. I have no idea. Maybe it was over a year ago. But I just recently got back to them a few days ago, thinking about what books I can get for my kids, my 6 year old, 4 year old, and 2 year old. This was after our kids would go to the library, and the last few visits, they've been bringing home some interesting books. And I've been thinking I need to be a little more proactive in what kind of books they get. So we're pretty above average strict when it comes to watching shows on TV. They don't watch a lot of Disney anymore. Even PBS Kids were a little cautious about, but books, we didn't think you could really go too wrong with that. But lo and behold, there were a lot of books that are being projected that we weren't willing to let our kids read yet. There was one book that I remember my daughter brought home, and from the cover it looked quite cute. It was a bunch of flamingos that were from out of town and causing a boring town to be more energized by these flamboyant flamingos. As you can kind of guess what it's about, but it was, it was right at the eye level for my 4 year old, and she loved it. It's just from the cover, but we did read it. I'm not anti information, but wanted to be a little more careful. And then a couple weeks before that, my wife saw a book about pronouns for kids, gender pronouns to be exact. And again, I mean, we're not completely against it, but we do have to be careful. I mean, 4 year old and 6 year old is going to read it and ask a bunch of questions. We don't even know how to answer it yet because we don't know what the right answer is. So maybe sounds a bit prudish, but just wanted to be a little more proactive with what our kids are reading and getting informed with. And so I came across Tuttle Twins again. I remember reading about them or hearing about them somewhere, and then I went on the website and I thought, oh, seems interesting. They seem to be a little more libertarian minded, a little more Montessori like. But then I recently went on the website and saw a bit more information, so I thought we could go look at it together. And here I'm on TuttleTwins.com. So again, let's do some research together. I don't remember if this is what it said last year, but makes a pretty big point. Are your kids being brainwashed? Now, I mean, I don't really believe that's what's happening, but I mean, we did send our kids to a Waldorf school here. It's a different type of brainwashing. If you guys are into unschooling, it's a little bit of unschooling. They don't do math, or there's no alphabet charts in the classrooms for preschool and kindergarten, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's definitely already a bit different than maybe your typical public school. So we don't believe that our kids are necessarily being brainwashed, but there are certain things about the economy, about your role in society, about gender, that I believe they are not correct about. So when I saw this page, I thought maybe there's something that would be more in line with what I believe in and what my wife and I believe in. So here the title says, "The Tuttle Twins children's books teach the ideas of freedom." Now, do we teach kids freedom at this age? Yeah, I know as parents we're always telling them what not to do or what to do. Brush your teeth, put your shoes on, eat that food, put the plate away. Now we've been getting a lot better lately. We don't order our kids around, and we're trying to treat them more adult-like in our conversation in some respects. Maybe not in the topics necessarily, but how we talk with them. But kids don't really understand freedom, right? Because we don't teach them that. And I could argue most people don't really understand what freedom means. So let's see if the Tuttle Twins understands what freedom means.
Hey parents, kids like us have a problem, and it's one that you can help solve.
But most parents aren't even aware the problem exists.
Here's the issue. Most schools today aren't teaching young kids some really important concepts, like how the economy works, or what our rights are, or the definition of true laws.
Back before you were born,
True
schools
laws and
often
rights.
taught the principles of a free society.
But not anymore. That's why our parents have us read
The
Tuttle
Tuttle
Twins. These books teach children about economic and civic truths that we need to learn, and there's nothing else like them in the world.
Each book covers a different topic, helping us learn
They're
how the
very good
world
readers.
really works.
For example, these books teach kids things like
Let's see
how
the
the free
screen on
market
versus
is the key to
glasses.
prosperity, the history of the money we use, what our rights are and why we should protect them, how kids can be entrepreneurs.
I definitely want to be my own boss someday, and these books will help.
Boss
Kids
babe.
like us absolutely love these books. Maybe because they
Atlas,
don't
Atlas
treat us
shrug.
like little children. Instead, they help us learn important ideas and develop critical thinking skills.
That's very
Chances
important.
are your kids are missing out on learning these things, especially in a way that's fun and enjoyable for the whole family.
And even better, when you buy this set, you also get the awesome activity workbooks for free.
Good.
Now
They
listen,
do teach
there are a lot of crazy ideas out there,
Reading.
and you need to prepare your
unscrambling
kids.
skills.
Yeah, if you want to raise a free thinker, you're gonna need something that teaches
Free
about
thinker.
freedom.
So purchase your books now.
But be careful, your kids will learn ideas that many adults don't even understand.
It makes for some really
That's
interesting dinner conversations.
Pencil. Milton Friedman's famous pencil, or
Those kids are cute, but I bet yours are cuter.
And imagine how much they'll enjoy the books. So what are you waiting for? Click the link and grab your set.
I already did. Creature from Jekyll Hyde. Jekyll Island. Oh, is that the book about how the Fed got started? That conspiracy? Okay. Not bad. Yes. So they're saying kids can learn about freedom better than adults, since a lot of adults don't understand what freedom means. Yes, well, I agree. A lot of adults don't understand what freedom means, where freedom comes from, and how many people in the world do not have freedom. But yeah, I'm not knocking on the video, just random comments. And so let me tell you, I think this is where some of the points I see here that I did really like. Look at this. They're defending your kids against anti-family, anti-freedom, against socialism, Marxism, media lies, and collectivism. Yeah, maybe if you're a little older, like teenagers, middle school, but for toddlers, do they need to know that they need to fight or defend themselves like that? I wouldn't say it's a war on ideas, as some people might say. Shield your kids from socialism. I think I missed that. Yeah, I went to my kid's first grade. Well, he's going to be in first grade. We decided to not go to the Waldorf school for next year. Regardless, we saw in the first grade classroom that they had a lesson on maybe St. Francis or some saint. And it's not a religious school, but they were talking about saint because he grew up and gave away all his money to the poor. And I remember seeing on the billboard, the chalkboard, the points on discussion points on why you might want to give your money away to the poor, and why that was a noble thing for this saint to do. So I saw that, and it was a small red flag. Man, I know they teach that everywhere: public school, private school, Christian school, Catholic school. You know, altruism is the morality, but yeah, socialism is a much stronger, unnecessary word. But let's go to the points that I really like about this. So, with our books, your children will learn things like why a free market economy is the greatest way to lift people out of poverty and allow people to trade one another. How property rights allows us to decide what's best for us and make decisions for our family. Why the world is a better place because of entrepreneurs who create business to help serve us and improve our lives. what socialism is and why it is so destructive to our freedoms and well-being. How the golden rule is so important to people getting along with one another, no matter where we live, what we look like, or what we believe. The golden rule: do to others as you would want them to do to you. That's a golden rule. That's from the Bible. Why education is so important and why children should be allowed to learn things they are interested in. Yes, but parents should also guide them, right? What true laws are and why the government should protect our rights. I'm interested in how they define true laws. But yeah, these are the points I like. And you know, the primary reason I like this, there's nothing about religion in these books or these bullet points. And as we've been looking at schools around Tucson, a lot of the schools we liked were Catholic or Christian schools, except the religious part. That's been the challenge. So it seems like we're in a minority, not only in Tucson, but in the United States, where we have people that believe in these things and want to teach kids these things, but that aren't religious. So why a free market economy is the greatest way to lift people out of poverty? Yes, I mean, it's not only about lifting people out of poverty, right? It's freedom. Free market is freedom. So you could choose to stay in poverty, but you're free to do what you want to do. That's the important thing. Again, it's probably not easy to teach that to kids because is that the kind of relationship you want to have with your kids? It's a trade, a win-win. We say what mom and dad are doing with your raising the kids, it's a win-win for us. Of course, I don't consider it a sacrifice what I do for my kids. It's something I want to do. But until they're an adult, 16 or 18, they're not really trading freely because they're still going to be supported to some degree by their parents. But anyway, I'll keep scrolling through. I don't recall, but here's all these books. What makes our books so different? They introduce important ideas that school don't teach. That's probably true. I'm trying to think back in my middle school and high school years where I went to pretty good Plano, Texas. You guys know Plano, Texas? But a lot of the stuff I studied was really STEM stuff, not too many humanities. So I can't really speak to if all these other topics were covered or not. But yes, adult ideas. This is great stuff, I think, to at least get your kids to think this way. And the hard part is, again, I'm thinking most of these parents probably really don't understand what freedom means. But using books like this is probably not a bad thing. But I can't speak to that since I haven't read any of the books to my kids yet. But here's some other books they have. I'll try to remember which one I bought, or I guess I'll open it. Individual rights, that's very important. Free markets, yep. How does money work? Yeah, I guess at some age it's good to know. What is protectionism? I'm against protectionism. It seems a little young for my 6'4" and 2-year-olds. Should the collective control us? That seems a little scary. Does the golden rule work? Why is socialism so harmful? I wonder when I'm going to have that conversation. Can a child be an entrepreneur? I think that's okay. Oh, I like that one. I know my 6-year-old son is already thinking this way, trying to figure out ways he can earn some money around the house. And I give him ideas on what things he could create and maybe sell as well, like Legos and some of his crafts. Persuasion and coercion. Ooh, this will be tough because our kids might say we're always coercing our kids. But I'm getting better. Been reading, or just finished reading, Hold On to Your Kids. So I'm going to change my attitude a bit this starting now. Well, I have already started, actually. What is true education? Why we act the way we do. That's important. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. It's all about incentives. And one of my favorite economists I listen to a lot, he talks about this all the time. We can talk about that later. Truth overpowers fear. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, with their kids. Always tell the truth. 12 rules. What is this, like a Jordan Peterson book? 12 rules kids should learn. Okay. And then they offer PDF workbooks. Yes, you guys are doing great. 500,000 families. The cost. Okay. Well, I only ordered 2 books. So I don't think I get all this stuff. Well, very good. Let me stop right here. And let's get to the book. So let's get see what we got in here. Oh, Mike Munger, that was an economist. He has a new podcast out. What's that podcast called? I think he has 5 episodes already. It's very short. Yeah, the answer is transaction costs. The answer is transaction costs. And I'm just responding to the question on why people do what they do. All right, I got my trusty old knife that I rarely use. Get it from my bug out bag that my friend said I should get in case the world's going to end with all this COVID craziness. Works pretty well. All right. Safety first. Hey, this doesn't lock. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Okay. I got 4 books? I thought I got 2 books. All right, the first book. The Tuttle Toddlers, a Tuttle Twins series. Oh, this is going to be fun for my wife. A lot of tongue twisters. While most adults find economics confusing, there are many aspects that even kids can understand. Join the Tuttle Toddlers in this tongue-in-cheek breakdown of free market basics. This looks like one of those books you would read my 2-year-old. There's pictures of coins, stock market going up like right now. And soon it's going to go like this. So that's when I'm going to buy my house. Our 3rd house. But okay. Looks good. Oh, I got the toddler set. That's what I got. All right. The ABCs of liberty. What does it mean to be free? Can young children understand these ideas? Find out as the Tuttle Toddlers help explain the principles of liberty. Oh, this should be really good. Now explain this to my 2-year-old daughter. She's really free. She does whatever she wants, and we try to convince her to do things we think is in her best interest. See how I caught myself and not said things we want to do. I'm gonna like this one. The ABCs of the American Revolution. Children need to learn about history so that we can avoid the mistakes of the past. Amen. Sorry, I said I'm not religious. The Tuttle Toddlers are here to help share some important events from the American Revolution. Indeed. Just a week out since July 4th, Independence Day. I assume, what is that? Does Paul Revere play the drums? No, he's the guy that rides the horse. Just kidding, okay? All right, so these should be good books for my 2-year-old and 4-year-old daughters. But I'll have my 6-year-old son read it too. I'm sure he'll grab it. Oh, yes, I did get this. Yes. The Tuttle Twins and the Miraculous Pencil. Do your kids know how the free market works? Ethan and Emily Tuttle, oh, they're brothers, how cute, have grown up taking for granted the many things they use. Clothes, cars, homes, backpacks. They use cars? Yeah, they don't drive it. Even something as simple as a pencil. In this fun adventure to an amazing factory, the twins learn why even the common pencil is a miracle, one that nobody actually knows how to make, and how the process by which it is made is the key to prosperity in our modern age. Oh, there it is. That's the classic essay, I Pencil. I got confused. I think maybe Milton Friedman referenced it. I Pencil by Leonard Reed. Your children would learn about the economic principles of spontaneous order, division of labor, competition, trade, and the free market, and why these things bring the people of the world together in a peaceful cooperation. Yeah, sounds good. Oh. To make our erasers, we buy rapeseed oil from Indonesia and oil from. Oh, okay, yeah, this is similar to. I've heard this story told by many economists and libertarians before, so should be fun to read for my son, and it's got some nice visuals as well. Yeah. They tell him about supply chains. He'd probably ask why all these things come from all over the world. Plants grown from India. Yeah, this is gonna be great. He's gonna ask where India is. But I like this. He's gonna ask questions about where all these things he has and he uses comes from. I think my 4-year-old would like this too, actually. She's a clever girl, as they say in Jurassic Park. Oh, I don't know all these things, but it should be fun. Well, there you have it, the Tuttle Twins. Got the ABC set about liberty, economics, and the American Revolution. Then I got the one book about the miraculous pencil, so I'll give these a read. See what my kids think, and then I'll report back in a couple weeks and let you know if I buy more books on the Tuttle Twins. Yeah, but in principle, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's more likely that it's going to be probably pretty good from what I've read on the website and what I'm reading right now in the books. So let me close with these last bit about the About page. It's called Books About Freedom for Kids. Again, I think I like that they're trying to have these conversations without bringing religion into it, because I think that's what a lot of conservatives or parents probably use to talk about morality and freedom. But freedom itself should stand as a morality. How do you describe economics to a 7-year-old? Should your preteen care about the government? Are your kids learning about the free market? Yeah, I don't think you learned that. Yeah, I took macro and microeconomics, and we didn't learn about free market. We learned about supply, demand, and just almost failing out of that AP class. So we read about that. So Connor Boyack is the founder and president of Libertas Institute, a free market think tank in Utah. I need to go check that out. Man, I upgraded to 1080p upload just to try this out, and it keeps flickering, huh? Well, we'll meet that. He's a public speaker. He's got 2 homeschooled children. Makes a point about that, huh? And wears really large ties, it seems. Now we're gonna start this year. We're gonna give it a homeschooling a try. So our 6-4-year-old will be homeschooled. So wish us luck. Illustrated, Elijah Stainfield, longtime student of Austrian economics, the von Mises, the Friedrich Hayeks, I suppose. And that's all I know. I need to do more reading. Rothbard? No. That's not it. I'm trying to think of another one. Okay. Some of his most notable work include 8 videos on Ron Paul's 2012 candidacy. What was his platform in 2012? Is that the only time he ran? Yeah, I think he was, looking back, he was okay out of all the presidents. He currently resides in Washington. 5 children. Good. Brother, power to you. And you're not religious, huh? At least you don't mention it. How rare is that, huh? Usually only Amish, Mormons, and Orthodox Jews have more than 3 kids. And I'm not, none of them. And why am I having more? Oh, too soon. Okay, well, thank you. I'm excited. So I hope we all learned a little bit about the Tuttle Twins. Again, that's the longest I've spent on the site. I read a little bit more about their principles. Got to check out some of the pages of the books. So I'm pretty excited to get these into the hands of my kids and see what kind of questions they ask, what kind of what topics energize them, and see if these really help. Well, thanks everyone. Talk to you next time.